So initially I wanted to do a video on Vanguard tier list, just some random topic that I came up with, and then I saw the news. A news so huge that I decided to give up every single schedule I have for this week and decided to focus on it.
Interesting.
Of course, I decided to wait for a few more days, just a day or two, just to make sure that all the info I have about the card is correct, and also I have everything I needed so that I can make a presumption correctly in this video. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, well, I'm talking about the review of this week, a huge review of this week, the Revolves. So before I get into the actual video itself, another disclaimer as usual, as this video will be focusing on Magnolia Elder specifically, as this is the only card that was reviewed by the time I review this video. So if you guys have your own comments on the Revolves, leave down in the comments below, as any kind of engagement is always very appreciated. Thank you so much, guys. Also, I make Vanguard content semi-regularly, just to keep it up as much as possible. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, consider like, share and subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell to keep up with all the notification. And without further ado, here is my thought on the Revolves. Oh, and also I'm doing a live stream of an unboxing for BT04 based on the day that I'll be getting it, most likely a Wednesday, so roughly 3 days before the actual release. But the watch for those who missed the live stream will be available on the day of release itself, just to make sure that I'm not getting into trouble with Bushiroad for releasing stuff early. And yeah, if you guys have any question regarding my channels or any other Vanguard related question, you guys can leave question in the comments below or in the subreddit thread that I'll be making later on, so I can answer you guys as I'm doing the unboxing. So yeah, let's go back to the video. So the review that we get is the grade 4 of the Magnolia, which is a Magnolia Elder, and with the information on the card itself right now, we can make a few presumptions of what the possibility of the grade 4 general guideline of the D format will be looking like. And the first thing of course is that the grade 4 will not be a part of right deck nor G zone. It will be a part of the main deck. So that means that if you're building a deck around the grade 4, you need to consider putting roughly 4 copies of this card in, just to make sure that you can get the card. Another interesting mechanics including the fact that it will have a triple drive, and as we all know by now, extra drive check is always welcome regardless of which deck you're playing. And lastly is that the card seems to be revolved around an upgrade version of the grade 3 that it is based from. A good example for it is of course Magnolia Elder himself. Magnolia Elder does have a huge upgrade skill compared to the original version of Magnolia, which has a lot of consistency issue due to the fact that its effect is locked behind the Persona right. Not as much as Hexa Orb or Astarte grade 3, but it is still locked behind nonetheless. And Magnolia Elder kind of fixed the issue of that. And not only that, does give a consistency to the deck in terms of defense capability as well, as it does grant the units in the back row ability to intercept from the back row itself.
Damn!
However, just like real life, everything always comes at a price, as the cost of playing a grade 4 in your deck is actually sacrificing your Persona right, and also some of the supports that does require a grade 3 Vanguard name in specifics. A good example for this is of course Lenard, Danaimaru and Elga. Of course, you still can include the spare copy of your Vanguard, the grade 3 Vanguards, and this specific support, as some of them is still playable in the earlier turn before you ride into grade 4. But its effectiveness does decrease as you have lesser amount of time to use them. A very good example for this is actually Lenard, as if you're going to use Lenard in the grade 4 Bruce deck, there's a possibility that you will only activate one of his effects. Okay, I'm losing ability to speak properly. So at the end of the day, when it comes to grade 4, it is all about whether do you willing to sacrifice a Persona right and essentially some of the support for a better consistency Vanguard effect, which I do think is a very interesting choice, as it will affect the way they build the deck completely, as certain decks do still need their Persona right, while the others does have some leeways on sacrificing it. Examples for the deck that does have leeway to go into Great Force is of course Bastion and Barrow Magnus. This few deck doesn't really need Personal Right to get their full power, as they can still go aggressive even without Personal Right, with Barrow Magnus give 10k to the rearguarded was called by his full power effect, while Bastion always give 10k to the unit that he withstand. On the other hand, decks like Bruce and Flagberg does need their Personal Right, as that additional 10k to the entire front row is necessity for them to go into their final turn or just to play more aggressively. However, the biggest winner from the Great 4 mechanics are the decks that does require Personal Right to use their full potential. A good example of this is of course Magnolia, Astarte the Great 3 and Hexa Off. This particular 3 deck needs the Personal Right to activate their effect, and if the Grade 4 version just remove that requirement completely, I do think that a lot of players will go into this Grade 4 build instead of the Grade 3 Personal Right build, as it is a lot more consistent that way.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Gameplay aside though, the most interesting thing that I feel that we can looking forward to is that many of the Grade 4 that we'll be seeing coming up in the next booster onwards might be the stride that we came to know and love.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I already mentioned earlier in my video talking about the card lore with the encounter cards. I will leave the link to the card somewhere at the top somewhere. I'm not sure where I will put later. And I do think that the fact that they decided to use Grade 4 as a way to evolve the boss unit means that there is a chance that a lot of the strike unit will come back if there is more encounter card review later on in the booster. Of course, I talk about the later booster like BT05 onward, you know. I'm aware that encounter card will be released once per year, but it's still interesting nonetheless if they're going to give the support to this encounter card as a certain form of strike. I'm aware that not all the strike are coming from 3000 years in the future, but I think it is more than enough for a lot of people to kind of speculate and looking forward to some of their favorite strike units that will be coming back. Of course, this is still a speculation. As of the day I recorded this particular video, there is only one Grade 4 confirmed, and that is Magnolia Elder. So whether I'm correct or not, let's look forward to next week, as we already confirmed the upcoming review of the new unit, and that is the upgrade form of Nirvana Dragon. Though to be honest, he looked more like he just went to gym and lose weight, like legit. And that's all I have for today's video. In general, I'm really looking forward to the Grade 4s, not just from the gameplay perspective, but also the lore perspective, like what are the units that might be coming out with Grade 4 considered. Of course, if you guys have your own opinion about it, leave in the comments below, and thank you so much for all the engagement if you guys bother to comment at all. And yeah, that is all I have for today. Once again, a reminder of an upcoming unboxing video I'll be doing. I'll keep you guys updated through a subreddit thread, as currently my community tab is still not available. So if you guys have some free time, just come by and say hello, or just, you know, just come by and enjoy the glory of unboxing together. And that's all I have for today. Take care of yourself, and this is Mac Megane signing out.